Hello, it's Tuesday and we've had snow, and I don't know if you can just see in our garden we've got a snowman out there, so I hope you've been able to get out in the snow and enjoy yourselves as well. We're going to be doing some more things upside down today, so we're going to get ourselves moving and warmed up a bit because it's pretty chilly where I am. I don't know about you. So make sure you've got lots of space. And I'm just going to make sure that I can see myself here. So if you've got any comments, or if you'd like me to say hello, please do say something in the comments, and I'll say your name. It'd be lovely to know who's watching today. So make sure you've got lots of space. We need space behind us as well as in front. We don't want to be hitting the furniture. And we're just going to start by rolling backwards and forwards. And you might find that the more you do it, the further you go. And I love doing this. I think it gets lots of energy going. Now my cat's going to come through the cat flap just there any minute, and he's going to be absolutely terrified. Hello, there he goes. You might not have seen him. Okay, and then you might find that you can flop all the way forwards, and then when you roll backwards, you can get your feet overhead and maybe even to the floor. But if it hurts your neck, then don't push it too hard, and definitely don't go doing backwards roly-polies, especially if you've got furniture behind you. Oh, hello from Zuzu, Frida and Rachel. Hello, lovely to see you. I love my tiger leggings as well. They make me really happy. So I'm going to keep rolling around. And maybe I'll get my feet to the floor behind, and maybe not. And it doesn't matter if you don't. Whee! So even if you just go a little way, it's just really good fun to roll around. Oh. And now what we're going to do is we're going to imagine we're going on a bicycle ride. So you can either go on your bike ride lying on your back with your legs in the air, or if you like shoulder stands, you can do a half shoulder stand. So I'm bending a little bit, or you can walk your hands towards the floor so it makes you really upright. And whatever you choose to do, we're going to cycle our legs like this. And now we're going to imagine we're going up a hill. Oh, it's actually quite hard work to do it for long, so you might prefer to lie on the floor with your legs in the air. So we're coming up to a hill, and it's quite a steep hill, so it's going to get a bit more hard work, and we're pedaling slower and slower and slower, and then we're going to get to the top and go whee down the other side. Woohoo! Now you might say, if you're going downhill, you don't actually need to pedal your legs, but it's more fun when we're lying on our backs. So we're going to come up to another hill, and this reminds me of the story of the little train that could. So it's about a train who's pulling lots of carriages up a hill and thinking, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I knew I could, 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 I knew I could. Oh, let's go up one more hill. I love doing this. So we're going to go one last hill. So we're pedaling and pedaling a little bit slower. And it's getting more hard work, and we're nearly at the top, and then whee down the other side. Yay! Oh, lovely. Let's have one more go at shoulder stand while we're here. So we're going to roll backwards and forwards. I quite like rolling backwards and forwards, and then seeing if I can stop in boat pose. So you can straighten your legs or keep your knees bent. You can hold on to the backs of your legs, and then we're going to roll forwards. Roll backwards. Whee! My feet don't want to reach the floor today. There we go. It makes your voice go all funny when you're doing a shoulder stand. So you can have a little play around as much as you like. And then whee, all the way back up again. So grown-ups, you might find this gives you a bit of a head rush. So if it doesn't feel right for you, you don't have to be swinging yourselves around like this. But hopefully the children are enjoying it. Okay, so when we have got our feet in the air, it's called an inversion. It means that we're upside down. Normally, our legs are lower than our hearts, and our hearts are lower than our heads. And if we mix that up, then that's what we call an inversion. So another inversion is downward facing dog. And we're going to also do some different L-shaped poses. So we're going to do poses that are the shape of the letter L, and downward facing dog's one of them. So let's have a little go at that. So let's always start doing downward facing dog by behaving like a cat. So I like to pad my paws on my mat, and then have them a little bit ahead of my shoulders, tuck the toes under, lift up into downward facing dog. So we're kind of like a capital L, but we've been tipped over a bit. But it's a nice big stretch for your back and for the backs of your legs. And then we can imagine we're a dog going for a wee up a lamp post on one side. And then we can do the same on the other side. And anytime you need a rest, you can bring your knees down and have a stretch out into child's pose. And the other thing I love about downward facing dog, so it's an inversion because your heart is higher than your head, but if you lift one leg or the other, it's also making it more of an inversion. And if you want to do donkey kicks or even tiny ones, that makes it even more of an inversion. So that's one L shape that we're doing this morning. And it makes me quite out of breath. I don't know how about you. Right, so that's one L shape. The next one we're going to do is a bit easier. We started off with quite an energetic one. So we're going to have our legs out in front and our bodies nice and upright. Now, if you find that you're rounding your back and it's hard to sit upright, you can bend your knees a little bit, or you can sit on a way, or point your toes, or you can try both. And when I do either pushing my heels away or pointing my toes, it makes my whole body feel awake. If I just sort of relax my legs, I kind of feel I've sagged a bit like a balloon that's had the air let out. So I like pushing my heels away, this is my favourite one, and then raising my arms in the air. And then I feel like a really nice strong L shape. Okay, right, so let's do another L shape. We're going to roll over onto our hands and knees and then come up to standing. So let's give our toes a little wriggle. Always like to give my toes a wriggle when I'm standing up. And the next L shape we're going to do, we need a wall or a mantelpiece or a kitchen worktop or a chair or a radiator, as long as it's not hot. And I'm going to use my wall, put my hands on the wall, and then walk backwards, so I'm in a nice L shape this way. And if you were doing classes in the last few weeks, you might remember we did this for Warrior 3. So Warrior 3 is a balance. You can lift one leg up and lower back down, and lift the other leg up and lower back down. So that's another L shape that we've done. The next L shape we're going to do is also an inversion because our feet are higher than our hearts, and you can do it at a wall or you can use a chair. So if we're going to do it at the wall, if you sit sideways next to the wall and then flip yourself around so your legs are up the wall. So we're in an L shape like this. And if you want to, you can bend your knees, push your feet into the wall and lift yourself up and down as if we're doing a shoulder stand. So if you didn't like doing shoulder stands earlier, this is quite a nice way of doing it using your legs. If you don't have a bit of wall handy, and I know this isn't a wall, it's a window, but I made sure I put my feet on the window frame and not on the glass. You can also use a bench or a chair, but make sure that if you push against it, it's not going to suddenly slide across the room. So I'm going to lie and put my feet on this bench here, and I can do the same thing. I can lift myself up and back down again, and it's not quite the same as being a capital L, but it's kind of close. So all the way up, and all the way down. And if you are lifting up, you might want to lift one foot in the air, or the other foot in the air, and back down again. Okay, so we've done downward facing dog, which is an L shape. We did boat pose, which is also an L shape. if we're doing this, we're kind of in an L shape, and you can raise your arms ahead depending on how energetic you're feeling. We've sat in a nice strong way, we've stood at the wall, we've laid with our legs at the wall. So the last L shape that we need to do is with our hands on the floor. And we were doing this about a week ago when we were playing around with the idea of handstands. So if we just have another little go at donkey kicks, just to get used to the idea of having some weight in your hands and your arms and your shoulders, do make sure you've got a grown-up nearby who can check that when you're doing this you're totally safe. And don't kick so high that your legs are in danger of flying overhead. So if we just start off in downward facing dog, and like we did before, you can either lift one leg or the other, or you can have a little go at jumping. So I'm not going too crazy here. And as long as it all feels okay in your hands and your shoulders, then we can try making a different sort of L shape. And we're going to use the bench again. Or if you've got a chair or a sofa or a bed, something that's not going to move if you push it, then go on your hands and knees with your feet facing whatever you're going to put them on, and then lift up, and then we'll put one foot up and then the other. So we're in an L shape like this, and you can try lifting one leg in the air, you can try lifting the other leg in the air, and then bring one foot down and then the other. So if you have a grown-up near you who's helping you, grown-up, stand to one side, because you won't get kicked then if you're at the side of your child, but hopefully that's a nice safe way of doing it, as long as the chair or whatever they're putting their feet on isn't going to suddenly move. Oh, okay, right, I think we're going to do a different sort of inversion now, which is a lot gentler, and it's not shaped like a capital L. So we're going to lie on our backs with our knees bent, and push into your feet and roll your back off the mat. So you're lifting your hips up and then roll all the way back down again. So this is bringing your heart a little bit higher than your head. So that's why this is an inversion as well. It's making you slightly upside down. And if it's all feeling good, you can lift your hips up. Lift one leg in the air, so it's quite strong on your legs. See if you can lift one leg in the air without suddenly dropping towards the floor. And then back down again. And then bring your knees in, have a little roll around from side to side. That feels nice. And then we're going to bring our feet to the floor, take our arms out and let both knees flop to one side. And then come back up again and flop the other way. And then back up again. We'll do that once more on each side. It's lovely to have a bit of a twist when you've been working hard. And now if you make yourself nice and straight and reach overhead with your arms, so you're as long as you can be on the floor, and we're going to take both hands and both feet out to one side, but keep your back on the floor so you're in a banana shape, and then go the other way. So we'll go straight again, so we've got fingers and feet going in opposite directions, making ourselves as long as possible, and then take both your fingers and your feet the other way. So you're stretching your other side, so you're kind of a banana shape lying on the floor. And then we'll come back to the middle again, make ourselves nice and long. And then we'll bring our knees in again and have a little shuffle around. So we're going to do our relaxation now, and you'll need to make sure that you're warm, because there's nothing more horrible than lying on the floor for relaxation and spending the whole time thinking, I'm actually really cold and I can't wait for this to be over. So you want to be so comfortable that you don't actually feel like you want to move. I'm actually putting my slippers on so that when I come and talk to you, I don't have cold feet. So if you lie down, have your arms out to your side, and you can either keep your knees bent or you can have your legs out straight. And I'd like you to start focusing, paying attention to your breathing. So when you breathe in, your tummy goes up. When you breathe out, your tummy goes back down again. And every time you breathe out, let yourself feel a bit heavier. And because we've had snow, we're going to do a relaxation that is based on snow. So you might have made a snow angel in the last few days, and that's where you lie on the ground, and if you flap your arms up and down and sort of sweep your legs from side to side, then you end up making an angel shape. When you stand up, you look like you've got wings and a dress on. So I'd like you to just sweep your arms and legs around as if you're making a snow angel shape, and imagine that you're lying on beautifully, freshly fallen snow, so it's smooth and it's soft. But you feel warm, you're nicely wrapped up, and you're quite happy lying in the snow. You don't feel wet or cold at all. Beautifully comfortable, and the snow is holding you up. And when you look up, the sky looks purple. And I don't know if you've noticed with the snow that at night the sky does seem a sort of purple colour rather than black or dark blue. So you're looking up at the purple sky and you can see snowflakes falling down towards you. So imagine these snowflakes are falling down, but they're spiralling around. So you've got the lovely purple sky and the white snowflakes spiralling towards you. And you can feel them land on your face, so you can feel little bits of cold on your face. If you open your mouth, they land in your mouth. But it all feels lovely and tingly. Everything feels so comfortable and warm, even though every now and then you get a bit of cold snowflake landing softly on your face. And then maybe you think you'd like to be a snowflake as well, because it looks so much fun, spiralling down towards the ground. So imagine that next time you breathe in, you feel yourself floating off the ground and floating upwards towards the purple sky. Snowflakes coming down towards you, but you're going higher and higher and higher until you reach the clouds. And before you go into the cloud, you start to float down again. So you're spiraling down with your arms and legs out wide, softly floating down in a lovely spiral, surrounded by other snowflakes. And if you look down, you can see the snow angel shape that you made. And you get closer and closer to the ground. You're falling really slowly and gently until you land very softly back in your snow angel shape again. And once you've landed in your snow angel shape, you can stay there a little bit longer, feeling held up by the snow. So when you breathe in, you can smell, there's a kind of snowy smell, isn't there? There's a cold air. And when you breathe out, you sink maybe a little bit deeper into the snow. So stay there just a little bit longer, imagining yourself lying there. Snowflakes falling down towards you, purple sky above, feeling warm and cosy. And now give your fingers and toes a little wriggle and have a stretch out. Take your time to come up to sitting, there's no rush. And if you just shut your eyes once you're sitting and rub your hands together and make them nice and warm, and it might take a little bit of rubbing, but just keep rubbing them together to make them as warm as you can. And then bring your hands over your eyes so that your hands feel really warm. If you open your eyes, you can't see anything, so have your hands over your eyes so that all the light is blocked out. It just looks totally black. And then slowly start to take your hands away so the light comes through. So I hope you've enjoyed that this morning. Thank you very much for joining me. Namaste. and I'll be back again on Thursday at 9 o'clock as well, so I hope to see you then. This video will still be here, so if you didn't manage to join at the beginning, you can watch it later on. Take care, bye bye.